Hello, and we are finally at the end of texturing. We just have to create an image view for the image and create a descriptor set. The descriptor set was our link between the memory and the pipeline bind point, and the image view is a wrapper for working with images. We've already created image views in the section where we created image views for the swap chain images. Since our texture is quite similar in terms of the settings, I will actually extract this inner loop code into its own method. I copy it over into this createImageView method. And here we're going to initialize a new image view instead of passing in the iterator. And then return the image view handle. And the method also has to return the image view type. Seeing the errors left, we also need to accept two parameters, the image and the image format, and I made a typo here. Here I'm going to initialize the format with the passed-in format. Now here we can call this new method instead of all of this code. So let's take this iterator, the referencing, and move it here at the top, making it equal to the call of our new function. And we can also cut this result checking code that I missed, deleting the rest of the code and pasting the if check in the new function. And let's make this official by adding the signature of this method in the header file. And I will not put it here with the initialize function, but a bit lower, here with the texturing, for example. Now, having this extracted into a new method, we can go back into our createTexture method from the previous videos. And here we can initialize the handles image view to the call of the createImageView function by passing in the image and the format, which is the 8-byte RGBA, which we read from the JPEG. We also need to create our descriptor set here. So we create a new descriptor image info. We set the image layout, which is our initial image layout, or shader read-only optimal. We set the image view to our new image view, and we set the sampler to our texture sampler. Then we need to write out descriptor set, so we create a new descriptor write. We set the S type, and we have to set the set. Oh yeah, and I missed a step. We have to create the descriptor set itself. I will search for the descriptor set allocation info that we did for the uniform buffers. And I will copy and paste it here. I need to change the descriptor pool to texture pool, as well as the set layout to the texture layout. It will allocate the new set into the handle set field. And now that we have the descriptor set, we can write the image into it. So we can set the destination set here. The binding of the image is 0. The image is a single image, so the arrayed element is 0 as well. Next is the descriptor write, which is a combined image sampler. The descriptor count is 1. And the image info is the image info object we just set. Now we can update our descriptor set with this new information. And we've just seen this one in the uniform buffers lesson. Now let's scroll a bit to here where we destroy the texture. We need to add a destroy call for our new image view. Then we also have to wait for the device to be idle. We can also free our descriptor set that we allocated from the texture pool. And I forgot a little null pointer here. And here, let's not forget to initialize this descriptor write with zeros. Now, I will build and run this project to check for any errors. And yes, I guess I did make some of them. I'll now summarize my mistakes. First, we need to allow freeing descriptor sets from our texture pool. So here, where we created, We can set this flags field with the free descriptor set bit. Next, we need to correct the texture set binding. Here, where we created our set texture, I copied the command from the setting of the uniform buffer. But in our shader, the texture is our second set. So we have to bind the texture to 1 and not to 0. And I've completely forgot to add our new texture set layout to the pipeline. So here at the pipeline layout creation, we can create an array of the two values, the uniform set layout and the texture set layout. Then here at the info object, we can set the layouts pointer to the data of the array and the size respectively. Building and running this no longer yields any errors. And now finally we can go into the shader here, and instead of forming a color from the UV coordinates, we can call this texture built-in, where we pass in the sampler and the UV coordinate. This will return a sampled color and we set the out color to that. When I build and run this, we will get our new textured square. Well, this is how textures work. There is a bit more complicated, but we've made it through.